Yes, people, what's happening? Welcome back to the channel and welcome to another live stream and Chelsea news update. And Chelsea have got their new manager. The here we go for Enzo Maresca has been received. Fabrizio Romano dropping that at lunchtime today. Obviously, we're going to still wait for the formal announcement from Chelsea, the unveiling and all that stuff. But the agreement is in place and Enzo Maresca will be the next Chelsea manager. As I've brought to you over the channel over the last few days, it's been expected to be confirmed. It is now confirmed. All that's missing is probably the signing of the contract, obviously, and all the club announcements and his unveiling and the press conference and all that sort of stuff whenever that takes place. I'm not sure that's going to be this week or whenever it's going to be. But Enzo Maresca is confirmed, guys. We have got the here we go agreement in place between Chelsea and Enzo Maresca. Compensation to be agreed with Leicester in the region of £8 to £10 million for the 44-year-old. And we're going to have some more bald brilliance back at Stamford Bridge. Chelsea's first bald manager since the late, great Gianluca Vialli. Let's see what he can bring. Diet Pep, whatever you want to call him. Let's see what he can bring to the football clubs. We're going to dive into that stuff on Enzo Maresca. 5-year contract with an option for a 6th, which is kind of crazy. We're going to get into all that. We're going to get into the latest transfer news as well. Fabrizio Romano dropping a bit of transfer news last night in regards to Chelsea, saying that Benjamin Sesko is definitely one to watch on with Chelsea. Chelsea also expected potentially going for a new goalkeeper, looking at centre-backs as well. We discussed last night about the contract offered to Tosin Adarabioyo. We're also going to dive into the news about Maresca, convincing the Chelsea, found favour within the Chelsea hierarchy because he presented detailed plans on how he's going to help Enzo Fernandez flourish. There's just loads and loads to get into, guys. Loads and loads to get into. 58 in the building already. Big up to every single person that is already locked in. You know what to do by now, guys. Smash that like button. Subscribe to the channel if you are new round here as well. Racing towards 10K, guys. Every new subscriber helps. So please hit the subscribe button and please smash that like. And let's get this show on the road, people. Let's get this show on the road. Let's just bring it up now. So here's the here we go. As I said, agreed to appoint Enzo Maresca as new head coach. Here we go. Understand agreement is now on contract, valid until June 2029. 5-year deal. Includes an option to extend until June 2030. There have actually been subsequent reports that have confirmed that there are break clauses within the contract. So, of course, if targets aren't met, if they fall out, which is probably inevitably going to happen, or Maresca, stops believing in the club hierarchy, which is probably far more likely, then there are break clauses within that 5-year deal. I think it's a ridiculous contract length to offer a manager, particularly a rookie manager. I expressed that on the stream last night. My thoughts on that 100% have not changed. But at the end of the day, this is where we're at. Maresca, 5-year deal, and he wanted. I think some reports were saying that Chelsea wanted to offer like a 2+1 or a 3+2 or whatever. But Maresca wanted a contract to reflect the project that Chelsea presented to him. He wanted a contract to reflect the project, which is why, and then they gave in to his demands and offered him the 5-year deal. But I think Chelsea initially wanted to offer a 2+1 or a 3+2, which maybe probably would have made more sense if we're being totally honest about the situation. It probably would have made more sense. But at the end of the day, for me, as I said yesterday, contract length doesn't really matter at all, because all contract length decides is how big your payoff's going to be when you leave the football club. And we know that Maresca, let's be real, guys, there's almost no chance that Enzo Maresca sees out this 5-year deal. Almost no chance. I'm prepared to say it now. I'd be surprised if he saw out I'm surprised if he saw out half of it. I'd be surprised if he saw out half of it. But yeah, it's a 5-year deal. Not Fabrizio Romano. Nizar Kinsella has been reporting that the intention from Chelsea is to be patient with Maresca, hence the minimum 5-year deal. But again, these are all the things that we've heard before, guys. All these things we've heard before. We've heard, this is the guy for the project. We've heard that, we're going to be patient. The intention was to be patient with the previous 3. The intention was to be patient with Thomas Tuchel. Didn't happen. The intention was to be patient with Graham Potter. It didn't happen. The intention was going to be patient with Mauricio Pochettino. It didn't happen. You were briefing the same stuff over and over again, and it means nothing because you haven't stuck to anything you've said when you've appointed your previous two managers. You said you trotted out the exact same lines when Potter was appointed. You trotted out the exact same lines when Pochettino was appointed, and now the exact same lines are being trotted out again by the directors, by the ownership on Maresca's appointment. Like, patients clearly do not know the meaning of patience. Do they know what patience means? But do you know what this does throw up, though, people? I will get to some things in the chat very shortly, by the way. Big up to everyone that's locked in, over 100 in the building already. What this does, though, it does raise some interesting points. That the thing on patience, and all that sort of stuff, is that it throws up some interesting scenarios because this is the sporting director's appointment. Okay, this is their guy, and they've got to stick by him. But it throws up some interesting scenarios where Maresca can look. Let's face it, next season Maresca could have an all right season, and that wouldn't really guarantee his place at the football club. But this one, more than any other appointment, I think you would think the sporting directors, more than Potter, more than Pochettino, they simply have to make Maresca work, which then is going to throw up some interesting scenarios because what's going to happen, say, next season if sort of March, April, May time, we're languishing 6th or 7th, Champions League football looks beyond reach, but similar to the season just gone under Pochettino, the team is showing some signs of improvement. The team is looking like it could potentially do something. What happens there? You've handed in the long-term deal. You've put out the patience briefs, and you know that sacking him less than 12 months later, makes your own position totally untenable as well. So it's going to be very interesting what the sporting directors do here, because if they decide to sack Maresca at the end of next season or even during next season, God forbid, then they're going to have to think twice about that because they know that removing Maresca within a year or 2 years of his appointment means they're out the door. So there's different interests at play here, because the sporting directors know that they can't really pull the trigger on Maresca because it means that they'll be out the door as well. So yeah, it's certainly an interesting one, people. It is certainly an interesting one. And at the end of the day, he's going to get a fat payoff. I think we're going to pay around £8 to £10 million in compensation for him. It's a lot, but this is kind of where we're at. But another thing that I'm sick of hearing as well, by the way, is this nonsense about the Chelsea ownership have been really impressed with the fucking All or Nothing documentary, and they like Arteta and whatnot. Is this here? Chelsea feel they have got an incredible manager. The ownership have always looked to the early days of Mikel Arteta and the patience shown to him, and I've even watched Amazon's All or Nothing documentary. The amount of times that I have heard that sentence over the last few days about this bloody All or Nothing documentary. Why are you seemingly basing a managerial appointment on watching a fucking Amazon documentary is absolutely beyond me. Absolutely beyond me why we are doing that. It doesn't make any sense whatsoever. And I cannot stand how many times I've heard that sentence. Yeah, fine. You can look to the patience of the early days of Mikel Arteta. Yeah, it's fine to look to that patience. But where was that patience for Graham Potter? Where was that patience for Mauricio Pochettino? Are you going to show that patience for Enzo Maresca? Do this ownership realise that Arteta finished 8th, 5th? Was it 8th, 5th, and another 5th? Or was it 8th, 5th? Well, anyway, regardless, it took him 3 or 4 seasons to get into the top 4. And there was loud fan noise to get Arteta out of Arsenal. And yet they stuck by him. We have seen, and there is a large amount of evidence that this ownership will cave to fan opinion, like they did with Graham Potter, and that this ownership simply will not give managers time. So how can we believe anything that's being briefed or anything that's being said about Enzo Maresca and patience and all this and all this sort of thing? It makes no sense at all. As I said, intention was to be patient with the previous three, and again, what's a big problem here is that they're reporting that they were really impressed by Maresca's knowledge about the current squad, and yet people are like lapping that up. Why are so many people impressed by people clearing such low bars in football? And then we wonder why so much money has been wasted and so many people get positions at this football club that they're nowhere near qualified for. They're nowhere near qualified for. This is what happens. People are so impressed by the bare fucking minimum. This guy's gone to a job interview for the Chelsea job and they're really impressed by his knowledge of the current squad. I mean, seriously, like what were they expecting? The geezers to turn up to the job interview with no idea about any of the players and no idea about the current squad. Like, are we idiots, guys? Are we actually idiots? Like, what were they expecting? What were they expecting? That he was going to turn up with no knowledge at all. And this is what I'm talking about. People impressed by the bare minimum. And this is why we have got mediocre people in big jobs at this football club that they're nowhere near qualified to be in. It's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. Like, if you wanted me to, if I had an interview with Chelsea next week and I could put together a report of players' strengths and weaknesses and turn up and fucking present it, like, what is this? What is this? How can we be impressed by the geezer turning up to an interview with good knowledge of the squad? I mean, seriously. What is going on at this? The bar is so low everywhere. The bar is so low. I'm staggered, guys. I'm really staggered by all this bullshit that's coming out from these guys. I really am. I certainly won't be falling for it. By the way, big up to everyone that's locked in. 163 in the building. Smash the like button, guys. Get this to 100 likes. Keep subscribing to the channel as well, by the way. Keep subscribing to the channel, people. Let's get it done, guys. Help me grow towards 10k. Let's get this moving. Dare I say it, guys? We're 30 subscribers away from 9.6k. Let's set the target. The target's 30 new subscribers, 9.6k, 172 in the building. There must be 30 in here that aren't subscribed. People, get to work. Let's do this. Smash the likes, subscribe if you're new around here. What are people saying in the chat? The fact that it's a 5-year deal is what angers me. Look, I can understand it, but ultimately, I don't think we should focus too much on. I know I've spoken about it, but I don't think we should focus too much on the contract length. I feel like, as I said, it's really all it reflects is the payoff at the end of the day. But if you believe in someone, then Maresca wanted a contract that reflected the project that was being pitched to him. So, look, I get it. It seems ridiculous. Like, is there really a 5-year plan? What's the grand plan for all this? None of it makes any sense. None of it makes any sense whatsoever in my view. And the facts that why are they constantly talking about this all or nothing documentary? They're wanting an Arteta, and I just think right now, I'll be honest, it strikes me that Chelsea don't really know what they want. They claim that they want a long-term project. They want someone to grow as a manager with the club. Yeah, they said all the same things for the previous 3 appointments. So why should the appointment of Maresca be any different? Why should it be any different, Maresca's appointment, to any of the previous ones? What's different about this? What's changed in their trail of thought? If we find ourselves in a position next season where we're not going to make the Champions League, are you going to stick with him, or are you going to pull the trigger? Because the targets are to get us back into the Champions League. So, what happens when we're at a midpoint next season and the Champions League is not looking likely? what are you going to do? You're going to sack him because he's not hit the target, or you're going to keep to your word and stick by him? Because I've said multiple times, whatever happens next season, even if we don't get back into the Champions League, which would be a major issue, then he's got to stay, because this is your project manager. This is your guy that you believe in. And this is the guy that you want to be here for the long term and to take Chelsea Football Club back to where they want to be. Now, there's a lot of big ifs there. But if you truly believe in what you're saying and you're not just bullshitting, which has been the case for the previous three, then you have to stick by him regardless. Whatever happens, you stick by your guy. But I just don't think they've got it in him. The bar these days is, did the bloke rub hands with Pep? Yeah, maybe it is. Or are you bald like Pep? Or have you shaken hands with Pep? Or have you been in the same stadium as Pep? Then yeah, you probably qualify for the job. But because that's not what Chelsea want to do. Chelsea want and like a lot of big clubs now, they want their project manager, they want their next Arteta, they want their next Xabi Alonso, they want their next Pep Guardiola sort of thing. But Chelsea particularly don't really seem to believe in the concept of patience and believe that this takes time. They don't seem to get that. The fan base don't seem to understand it either. Large portions of the fan base will say they're on board with this appointment, and they're in it for the long term. But then as soon as we lose a few games and we're sitting 7th or 8th come January time, they'll be calling for the manager to go. So, yeah, it's a problem. Anyway, guys, there's so much coming in. Apologies, I can't read it all. Yes, mate, hope you're doing well. Let's see all I think, Doc, on what goes on in our boardroom. Yeah, do you know what? Like, Amazon have missed the trick. And they must have asked. They must have asked. I mean, the last 2 or 3 years, any point from the sanctions onwards, any season would have been box office. I suspect they must have asked. They must have asked. But it's the sort of thing that I feel this ownership would do, because they're into that sort of thing. But maybe it will come at some point. Bro, they would keep just like Potter did until relegation looms. I don't know. Yeah, but they got rid of him at the end of the season. Like, we shouldn't be praising them because they stuck by Pochettino instead of sacking him mid-season. I think part of the reason they stuck by him was optically a mid-season sacking, they probably thought would look terrible on them. Absolutely terrible. And they would be right. Like, 5-year deal means nothing at Chelsea. It doesn't really mean anything anywhere. Bro, I wouldn't do that. The team need the support. The team need the support at the end of the day. They really do. And yeah, things are difficult right now, but come August, we'll all be behind the team. Yes, big up. It will not be his fault that the sport and the rest of it goes wrong. Exactly. This is it. Like, I don't understand why I've seen so many fans writing this guy off and not giving him a chance before he's even walked through the door. Like, what's going on? What happens to giving people a chance? Every single manager deserves a chance. Every single player that comes through the door deserves a chance. And I will back this manager, like I do every manager, until there is legitimate reason not to back him anymore. But the fact that I'm seeing some people already writing this guy off before he's walked through the door, let's just make this clear. This is not Enzo Maresca's fault. Of course he's going to take the Chelsea job. Of course he is. It's not his fault he's offered it, and it's not his fault that he's taking it. Of course you are going to take it. But if it goes wrong, then you have to look fully at the sporting directors for putting him in this position, and it is 100% their fault. And what we've got here is, reports of, Winstanley and Stewart working 17-hour days since Pochettino's exit. Apparently, Goalie didn't leave London until he had seen through the process personally. Data involved in identifying the candidate they hope will deliver the football they crave. I mean, what a brief this is. Oh, guys, we were doing 17-hour days. Or Goalie didn't leave London until he'd seen through the whole process. Oh, we've used all this data to identify the candidate and all this bollocks. That's not impressive. It's not impressive. It makes it seem absolutely comical that after working 17-hour days for maybe 4 or 5 days, the conclusion they've come to is that Enzo Maresca on a 5-year deal is what Chelsea need. But it is what it is, guys. There's no point going round. There's no point going round the houses on this. Maresca is the next Chelsea manager, and this is the situation we're in. We support Chelsea. We support the team. We support the manager. the ownership, yeah, is a problem. They've not done good things. They've shown good intentions, but they've not, they've not really shown. They haven't shown much more than that. The managerial situation under this ownership has been shocking. It's not that I don't like Maresca. I really dislike Pep ball. You need the best players in the world to play that. To be fair, look, I think the way that he plays. No, it's not. No, it's not the whole fan base. It's not, but it's a majority, I would say. It's not a whole fan base, and look, there's a lot of great people within the Chelsea fan base. There really are, but unfortunately, there are sections that don't use their brains before they speak. Patting themselves again for doing what they're literally here for. Should be gone if we mess up this season. Absolutely, this is their last chance, bro. Their last chance. But yeah, patting themselves on the back because they did a 17-hour working day. Well, yeah, that's your job, guys. That's what you're paid probably very good money for, to do this sort of work. And you're very lucky to still be in this job, given how many mistakes you've made. So yeah. Yes. Big up to my guy. Yeah, we've got to keep it positive. I feel optimistic heading into next season. That's the reality, guys. I feel optimistic heading into next season. And let's wait and see what happens. We've got the Conference League, we've got the domestic cups, and the league. And you know what? The league is there. I don't say it's there for the taking in terms of the title. Obviously not. What I mean is the top four is available for the taking. Spurs, Man United, Newcastle, Villa are going to struggle to go. I think there's a chance, but I think with Maresca in as a rookie, first season, he's not managed a single top flight game anywhere in his career. It's a big ask for him. It's a big ask for him to get the job done and do that. But it's going to be a journey nonetheless. It's going to be a journey nonetheless. But I don't think any Leicester players will be coming because Maresca won't be making the signings. It will be the sporting directors, and Maresca will just be given the players, and he's got to make it work. It's kind of as simple as that, really. I think he'll have next to no say, little to no say, and any say he does have probably just won't even be listened to by the managers. It just won't be listened to. So by the directors, sorry. So yeah, I'd be shocked if any Leicester players came in. I really would. But in terms of Leicester players that are good, Dewsbury Hall is a top player. Really impressed by Kieran Dewsbury Hall, particularly when he played at Stamford Bridge as well. But one other thing that I thought was interesting, they don't care about football, i.e. that's them all is for money. I don't want to say they don't care, because winning is the quickest way to make money. People that say, oh, they don't care about winning, they just want to make money, but the easiest way to make money is by winning. So I don't believe you can throw a lot of things at these guys, but I don't believe that they don't want to win. I really don't believe that. I don't believe. I think the wingers are good. Fatawu is decent, and so is Mavididi. Well, it's been reported that they're possibly having a look at it. In fairness to Maresca, he's got a better CV than Arteta, Xavi, and Alonso. Yeah, and this is what I mean. Like, this is why now, when I look at managers, I actually don't think the CV matters that much. Before, like in years gone by in football, the CV was so important. What you had on your CV was massive. But now, I think the way that the game's going, if you've got a clear philosophy, clear ideas, and you play football in the right way, then you are going to be in with a chance of getting the big jobs. CVs now, I think, are almost irrelevant when going for jobs, and there are other things that are far more important. And yeah, you are right to point that out. Absolutely, Maresca, despite the fact that he managed one season at Leicester where he won the title and he had a disastrous spell at Parma. He has Arteta had never managed. Xavi went. Well, no, Xavi spent 2 years in Qatar. And then Xabi Alonso was at Real Sociedad B, I think, before going there. So, yeah, look, he has got more experience than those guys. But Chelsea are dealing with very fine margins here. Very fine margins. They think it could be, the next big thing in management. Both sides fully believe in the project, as it were. both sides are fully on board. Well, of course they are. That's why he's got the job, because of course he's fucking on board with what they're saying. But once you get through the door, it's a totally different set of circumstances. But yeah, I'm interested to see what happens. I am really interested, because this could either go well or it could go disastrously. And for me, there really doesn't seem to be any in between. I mean, Sky Sports reporting that both sides are in it for the long haul. I'm sure Maresca's in it for the long haul, but I remain to be convinced whether Chelsea are actually in this for the long haul, because there's no evidence to suggest that Chelsea are in it for the long haul right now. Yes, big up, mate, big up. Can't amortize 8 years anymore. Everyone will come in on 5-year deals now. No, you can still offer the long contracts, but you can only amortize it over the 5 years. Slots from the Dutch league. Is Slot from the Dutch league better than Enzo? Yeah, of course he is, because he's managed in Champions League, he's managed in Europe, he's won league titles with Feyenoord. Yes, he's got no managerial experience outside of Holland, but he's got top flight experience and he's got European experience. So yeah, he is. All right, so much. We're completely in the unknown, to be honest. It's going to go one of two ways, and we just got to hope and trust it's good. Let's be positive. Yeah, look, there's no point being constantly negative and down about the club. I've said this a number of times. Let's just see what happens, people. Let's just see what happens. Let's be positive about it. Let's be open-minded about it. And above all, let's just give the guy a chance. If Bayern are willing to take a risk with a relegated manager, why can't we? Well, to be fair, we're not getting a relegated manager. But yeah, look, football's about taking risks. Sometimes it's high risk, high reward, isn't there? This is a high risk situation, which could pay off. But ultimately, it's a far, far bigger risk than for Chelsea than it is for Maresca. If it doesn't work out for Maresca, he'll still have a very good managerial career, most likely, and he'll still still get decent top flight jobs. That's absolutely clear. But at the end of the day, he deserves the backing from everyone. He deserves to be given a chance, and let's get behind him and let's support the guy, for fuck's sake. He better hit the ground running. Well, look, let's wait and see what happens. Let's see what signings are brought in. Let's see what the pre-season is like. Let's see what the fixtures are like at the start of the season. How are the fixtures going to fall? I think they come out in about 3 weeks' time. I think, look, people are going to have their own expectations. People can have whatever expectations they want at Chelsea. They can have whatever expectations they want. But ultimately, for me, you've got to be realistic with them. A rookie manager coming in who's never managed a single top-flight game, who's got one season's experience as a coach, to expect them to come into the club and qualify for the top four, you can expect that. But what I would say is prepare to be disappointed, because I think that's unrealistic in my view. Now, I can understand people don't want to lower their expectations, and that's fine. But I do feel that given the scenario we're in, if we were under Pochettino still, then absolutely the expectation would be to finish in the top four. The expectation can still be the same. It doesn't mean it's realistic now that we've got this manager in. Yes. Guys, smash the likes. What are we on likes-wise? Have we reached 100 yet? No, we haven't. We've got 6 more likes to 100. There's 257 in the building. Big up to everyone that's locked in. Smash the likes. Get this up to 100, 150 likes, guys. It's free. It takes seconds, and it boosts the content in the algorithm and gets more eyes on the channel, which is what's needed. So let's get this up to 150 likes. And let's see how we're getting on. There's 257 in the building. Guys, I think the 9.6K is on. It's on. We need 25 more subscribers. Let's do it. 25 more subscribers, 261 in the building. This is doable, guys. Subscribe. Let's take another step closer to 10K. And you legends on the journey with me and part of the community here, it's greatly appreciated. So smash the like and subscribe. Another 25 required. Let's get it done. Frank came from Derby and got straight top 4 straight away. Yeah, I appreciate that, but again, the circumstances were different back then. The league, the top four, wasn't as competitive as it is now. I don't think the Premier League, from a top to bottom, was as competitive as it is right now. So yeah, look, the top four, there's a huge opportunity there, and the race is definitely open for the top four. There's no denying that. There's no denying that. I just still feel, though, to set the top four as a target for a rookie manager, I just think it's a little bit unrealistic in my view. But I'd love to be proven wrong. Charlie Joseph Feliciano says it's better to maximize content than winning or losing on the football field. Understand what is running our football club. Look, again, I haven't seen those comments. To be honest, I still don't believe that they don't want to win. And maybe that's me being naive, but they're going to want a return on their investment. And they're not stupid. They know that winning is the quickest way for them to make money. Champions League final, PSG League winner got sacked for Maresca. He didn't get sacked. He didn't get sacked. There was a mutually agreed. And actually, normally they put out mutual agreement all the time, but I genuinely believe that this is actually mutual agreement because I think Poch wanted out just as much as they wanted him out. Peter Bosch, bald Dutch manager as well. Yeah, I mean, look, he done a good job at PSV for sure. Yeah, these are big ifs though, big ifs. But yeah, look, the potential's there and the quality's there. It's just about putting it all together. Can he deal with the bigger pressure? Can he deal with the bigger expectations? Can he deal with the wider media pressure? Can he deal with the big personalities in the dressing room? Can he deal with coaching higher quality players? These are all things that we don't know about him because he's not had that in his career. In his career to date, guys, there's so much coming in. Poundland Pep, yes. Diet Pep. Yeah, maybe it is. Maybe it is. I don't know. Yeah, Maresca does play a heavy possession-based brand of football. There's no denying that. And I've done a video with a Leicester fan, which is on the channel. So after the stream's done, guys, make sure you go and check it out. Yeah, I've done a video with a Leicester fan about Maresca. And he does say, fans did get frustrated at the King Power last season because he's incessant with the build-up play. There's so much passing rather than getting the ball forward. Chelsea have to deal without Thiago Silva now. Yeah, we need to find some leadership. Don't you rate our squad is good enough? Yeah, look, I think the players are absolutely good enough and the squad's good enough, but it's still, it needs some more additions. It needs some more additions, and let's see how they take to Maresca's system, because we don't know right now how long it's going to take to implement, how they're going to adapt to it. But the quality's there, so let's just wait and see what happens. I don't think it's boring football. Leicester did score a lot of goals last season. I think Ipswich scored more goals than them, but Leicester did score a lot of goals. They won the league last season. Yes, you could say it's the bare minimum expectation. I get it, but I wouldn't describe it as boring football. Leicester fans, I don't think would say that. Well, not on the whole, anyway. We could have cooked with Fabregas. I saw a video of him where he speaks about his playing style. Yeah, but again, it's easy to talk about your playing style. But we could have gone with Fabregas. Fabregas is not ready yet. That's the reality. He was at Parma for 14 games, and I think it was in Serie B. And it just literally a load of players came and he just said it was a complete mess and it just didn't work out. Which is fair enough. Let's just let Sesko do his thing at Como, and I'm sure at some point, if he develops how he potentially could, then maybe. But we just got a new manager. We don't need to focus about someone else that might come in. I just wanted to move on to another thing before we get into the transfer side of things. And I think the Chelsea ownership, the Chelsea directors, whatever you want to call them, they are desperate to make Enzo Fernandez work. They spent massive money on him. There were murmurings, I don't know how true they were, that, Poch was forced to play Enzo Fernandez, which, again, I don't know how true that is. But, Enzo Maresca is thought to have found favour with the Chelsea hierarchy through detailing plans on how to help Enzo Fernandez flourish at Stamford Bridge. it's clear that we've not seen the best of Enzo during his time at Chelsea so far. I think that's a fair thing to say. And the ownership will definitely want the manager to get the most out of him and to and to unlock the undoubted potential that is there. The problem is that we don't know. We don't know how he's going to use him. He's probably going to use Enzo as a number 8, because that's how he operated in the Championship with a 4-3-3. Ndidi and Dewsbury Hall as the 2 number 8s, and I think Winks was more defensive minded. I think Maresca will definitely deploy Enzo Fernandez as a number 8, which I think will suit his game better. Of course, Enzo has got that ability to play from deeper, but I think the more you get Enzo Fernandez on the ball, then the better he's going to be and the more he's going to impact the team. I think for me, what you need to do is you've just got to get Enzo on the ball more. A system that gets Enzo Fernandez on the ball more is going to be of massive benefit to Chelsea. So whatever way we want to set up, whatever way you want to put the midfield together, you've got to set the team up in a way that gets Enzo Fernandez on the ball more often. And if you can get Enzo Fernandez on the ball more often, then that's a massive, massive plus. I think let's wait and see. There's certainly going to be some interesting decisions to be taken this summer. I don't know if Chile's done. I think maybe he's got one more season. Let's wait and see. Enzo's a ball player. Yeah, he's a ball player. You see his range of passing. You need to get him on the ball. That's got nothing to do with Enzo. That was just to do with a switching system. If Enzo was fit and playing, we'd done that, I think we get the same results. This is absolutely a possibility. If you're playing a 4-3-3 system, which Maresca likes to play, then there is every chance if he goes with a 3, Enzo and Caicedo as the box-to-box midfielders with Lavia holding. That we would be sourcing. That would be a tasty midfield. There's no denying that. So, whatever it takes to get the best out of Enzo Fernandez, let's do it. But just do not play him as a number 10. Don't play him as a number 10, and we're good. We're good. Just don't play him as a 10, guys, because that does not suit him whatsoever. And he looks just like a fish out of water when he played there. Yeah, but you could say that about anyone. If anyone's man marked out the game, then they're not as effective. Again, Maresca likes to invert the fullback as well. Generally under Leicester, it was from the right-hand side with Ricardo Pereira. So you could see Reece James or Malo Gusto inverting into midfield. Maybe, you might get, what's his face? You might get Carrera inverting from the other side. I think it just depends on what people are looking for. But yeah, tactically he's pretty sound. Tactically he's pretty sound. But let's wait and see. Let's wait and see what happens. But yeah, Enzo Fernandez, I think it's clear that the Chelsea ownership and the Chelsea hierarchy are desperate for the manager to get the best out of Enzo. And I think that's a really important aspect of it. They spent a lot of money on him. They want him to play and they want him to do well. I don't buy into the notion that that higher ups have a say on team selection. But what I do subscribe to is the idea that there is pressure from above to play big money signings, regardless of how well they're playing, and you just have to find a way to make it work. I do believe there is that. Again, I've forgotten about that. Chukwuemeka. That I think in a 4-3-3 system, Chukwuemeka could absolutely thrive playing as one of those 8s. 100%. He would thrive as playing as one of those 8s guys. If they really wanted to win, why don't we have an elite gaffer? Because that's not the route that they've chosen to go down. They don't want that elite manager. They're trying to build a squad for the future. And ultimately, I think you see now those sort of big name managers not linked. Not linked with jobs not linked with the top jobs. Look at Antonio Conte, who was out of work, wasn't linked once to the Bayern Munich. Look at the sort of managers that were linked with the Bayern job. All sort of up and coming. I mean, Rangnick, no, but like generally speaking, up and coming managers. I'm not saying that there's not. I'm not saying the likes of Mourinho, Conte, etc., aren't going to get jobs and whatnot. But you notice now there's a certain, the fact that Antonio Conte not even linked at all with a potential Man United job, not linked with any big jobs, is just goes to show. Yeah, no, he doesn't. That's what I was chatting about in the video today. There is a lack of a plan B. So if plan A doesn't work, then there is generally kind of a problem. The goalkeeper in Maresca's style of play is really, really important. It's massively important. They almost act as a new centre back, as another centre back. So someone that's good with the ball on his feet. So I think if Maresca comes in, when Maresca comes in, I suspect that Chelsea will sign a new goalkeeper. I don't think he's going to like how good Sanchez is with the ball at his feet, i.e. not very good at all. And I don't think he's going to like, and I'm not sure he's going to think that Petrovic is good enough with his feet. If I'm going to be brutally honest, I think that I think that Petrovic will be the number 2 next season and Sanchez will be gone and they'll bring another one in. Yeah, I've looked at his coach's voice video. I mean, look, the players will fit in, I'm sure, and we'll get a better idea about it on pre-season. Sorry, I used to say no need for a plan B until plan A is done properly. Look, I get it. No, he has kind of changed formation a bit, but in terms of his principles of play, heavy possession-based football, strict positional play, those aspects he doesn't budge on. So yeah, let's wait and see. But let's move away from the Maresca stuff. Let's talk transfers, guys, because Fabrizio Romano has given us some info last night on transfers, and he's saying that it's set to be a busy summer for Chelsea in the transfer window. So let's dive into that. Obviously, we touched on. We've got some news right now. Before we get into, actually, let's get into the Fabrizio stuff first, and then we'll get into the other. Yeah, Werner, I think, is going to extend his loan at Chelsea. Not at Chelsea, sorry, at Tottenham. Let's get into this. It will be a busy summer at Chelsea. Not completely crazy, but Chelsea will try to do smart things, including a goalkeeper, at least one centre-back, but it could be 2, also a winger. Lastly, a striker. Keep an eye on Benjamin Sesko. I think Chelsea really like him. There's huge admiration for Benjamin Sesko within the football club. Is he a Maresca? I mean, by all accounts, according to Leicester fans that I've spoken to, Maresca likes the striker to drop deep and link the play. I'm not sure if Benjamin Sesko is more that is that kind of a player that he drops deep and he links play. I don't know on that front for certain. Sesko's had a brilliant second half to the season. Apparently, his release clause is going to goes up based on how he did in the second half of the season. So apparently now it's around 50, 60 million pounds. A few teams do absolutely like Sesko. So no, it doesn't mean going out the exit door. It doesn't mean that at all. You could imply it as that, could be going out the exit door, but that's more about coming in as well. That's about coming in. So yeah, you could also make a point that those positions might go out, but I think this is specifically referencing players coming in. What else is coming in here? One thing that is good is that we haven't really signed anyone until we have got Enzo. Let's hope. Well, I mean, it's been very little time to sign anyone, to be perfectly honest. There's been very little time to sign anyone. So yeah, I guess that's a good thing, isn't it? If we bring striker, don't give him the number 9 shirt. Yeah, let's wait and see what happens on that. Sesko, Willian, defender on a free. Yeah, well, Esteval can't come until 2025 anyway. So I think looking to do smart things. I think Whether I agree with it or not is a separate issue. But Benjamin Sesko, you could argue that would be smart business. Tosin Adarabioyo on a free transfer if he accepts the contract that's reportedly been offered. That would be smart business. A winger, Michael Elise potentially. That would be 60-odd million pounds roughly. Someone would have to be shifted out. But again, smart business, good player, moves the needle. Moves the needle for the football club. Absolutely makes that attack better, but instantly. What else are we thinking? Goalkeeper wise, I've got no idea whatsoever. Centre backs, Tosin Adarabioyo. Things have gone quiet on the likes of Lenny Yoro, on the likes of Usman Diamonde. So yeah, things have gone very quiet on that front. He's also been linked with Arsenal. Yeah, I appreciate that Chelsea aren't going to be the only club interested in Sesko, but there has been long-term interest in Benjamin Sesko from Chelsea. That much is clear. By the way, guys, 289 in the building. Big up to every single one of you that's locked in. Almost 300 guys in the building right now. Smash the like button, guys. 142. Let's get this up to 150, 160. And do you know what, people? Almost 300 in the building. We must be getting closer to 9.6K. Are we getting closer? Yes, we are. 15 to go, guys. 15 subscribers to 9.6K. Smash that subscribe button, guys. It's free. It takes seconds. Join the community. Help me get to 10K. 15 more required. This is light work, guys. Light work. We're definitely going to get this done. We are definitely going to get this done. Let's get this to 9.6K. Yes, big up, big up. No, we haven't signed a Fulham player. It was reported last night that we'd offered a contract to Tosin Adarabioyo, who's out of contract at Fulham next month. And yeah, let's wait and see. Let's wait and see what happens on that front, whether he accepts it or not. Newcastle reportedly were very close to an agreement. We've now come in. This would be smart business. But look, if we're looking at strikers, by the way, yes, big up, big up. Yes, 10K not far. 10K will be soon, people. Enzo, big Ornstein news. Is there big Ornstein news? What Ornstein news is there? It's probably is there Ornstein news just now, or is that or is someone having a laugh? I'm not. What Ornstein news are we talking about here? I'm not seeing any Ornstein news. But maybe I'm wrong. No, Ornstein's posted nothing since yesterday. So yeah, there we go. No Ornstein news. When does pre-season start? I don't know. It must be sort of July time, roughly. Bernardo Silva will be leaving Man City for 50 million this summer. I don't think so. I don't think so. 6-year-old from Argentina. Fair. But look, I think if you look at the strikers available this summer, you look at the likes of Sesko, Osimhen, Artem Dovbyk as well is another one. You know, just finished top scorer in La Liga, 24 goals. The Girona striker, Ukrainian international. Let's wait and see what happens on that front. I don't think Chelsea would look at Dovbyk. Personally, I think it will be. I said all along that I believe it will be Benjamin Sesko. I'm not sure if Victor Osimhen is a Enzo Maresca type of forward. Yes, there's also Victor Gyökeres, which is a possibility maybe. Although there hasn't been as much noise surrounding him so far. There's not been as much noise surrounding him. So let's wait and see what happens on that one. Let's wait and see what happens on that one, because there are the striker one's going to be real interesting. It's going to be really interesting. Elise to Chelsea, possibly. Chelsea definitely want him. Joe Shields pushing for that deal. Let's see what can be done, but it will require a winger to leave. It will require a winger to leave. Serhu Guirassy is another one. But apparently Borussia Dortmund are pretty close to signing him. Whether that's gone through or not, I'm not sure. But I remember seeing Fabrizio posting something about that a couple of days ago. So let's wait and see. Let's wait and see what happens there. Boniface, again, has only spent one season in Germany. He needs another season. I'm not sure if he's quite ready yet. He would benefit from another season. He would benefit from Champions League football with Leverkusen. There's no doubt about it. No, I'm aware of this of the 50 million regarding Silva, but Pep's not going to come back for Palmer. No, if I'm wrong on that, then I will apologise, but I don't see that happening at all. Sesko, his ability to contribute to build up play, press from the front and finish chances would be valuable assets in a possession-based, high-pressing, tactical approach. Sesko's totally different to Jackson, though. He's different. He doesn't run channels, link up play like Jackson does. Sesko would be different, you know. Sesko, I think, is 20. I'm pretty sure Sesko's 20, so he's not that old. But it's an interesting one, people. It is an interesting one for sure. I don't know what the answer is on the Sesko front. You know, it's another one of those players that has got immense potential, has shown ability, has got top flight experience, has got Champions League experience. You know, has proven he can score goals in Germany, has proven he can score goals in Europe. So, like, I think there's positives to him. I think there are positives to Sesko, but there's also got to be the realization that it's also a huge gamble. It's also a huge gamble. No denying it. It's a huge gamble. But let's wait and see if that does happen. Does that happen? I mean, look, I like Sesko for what it's worth, but we've already got a young striker in Jackson. Does Benjamin Sesko move the needle for what Chelsea are looking for and for what Chelsea need? I'm not sure personally, but I still feel he will be the most likely one that we're going to end up with. I feel he'll be the most likely one we end up with. Do I think that's the right move? I'm not so sure. I'm not so sure. Because I feel like we need someone that's proven and ready-made, like a killer goal scorer that's ready to come in and make an instant impact at the football club. But I could be wrong on that. Maybe Sesko comes in and he could be brilliant. Guys, over 300 in the building. Big yourselves up. Keep smashing the subscribe button. 13 more to go now to 9.6k. There's definitely 13 out of the 300 in there who aren't subscribed. So guys, do your thing. Hit that subscribe button and get this to 200 likes as well, people. But let's keep it moving. Let's get this to 200 likes. Most importantly, though, guys, we need to be smashing the subscribe button. We need 13 more subscribers. There's definitely 13 in it that haven't subscribed. Do your thing, guys. Join a community. Support me. It's all love at the end of the day, and it would be greatly appreciated to take another step closer to 10k. So smash the likes and subscribe. Big up to everyone. If Elise comes in, Palmer plays 10. What about Nkunku? Look, Nkunku, Palmer, and Elise have got more than enough quality between them to roam around. You know, to roam around. Jackson's earned his place. He needs competition. We have Nkunku back. Will be a much bigger place. Threat, sorry. Yeah, no, we do need that. We do need that. There's no denying it. We do need competition for sure. Absolutely, we need competition for Jackson. I prefer experienced striker. I agree on that. Yes, big up. Where's Nkunku playing in a 4-3-3? Unfortunately, Nkunku would have to play on the left or as the number 9. So you'd either go Palmer right, Nkunku left, Jackson as the 9, or you could go Nkunku as the 9, Palmer on the right. You could have Jackson playing off the left. You could have Mudryk playing on the left or whatever you want. The only issue with the 4-3-3 is while it might suit the midfield slightly better, I think it is a little bit detrimental to us in attack. If I'm being perfect, I think it's slightly detrimental to us in attack. But again, let's wait and see what happens with it, because it could be interesting. It definitely could be interesting. But in terms of other news, let me just find it now. Because there's some news on Chelsea being linked. Not only have we taken a manager from the Championship, we are being linked with a move for a championship winger. No, the Brazilians won't come until 2025. Again, I'm not as convinced on Osimhen. I like him. I think he's a good player. I just don't think he's anywhere near as good as what people make him out to be, is my personal opinion. Again, there's an option to deploy Jackson out wide. You know, that's definitely there. That's definitely a possibility for sure. You know, whether Maresca chooses to do that or not remains to be seen. But there's absolutely the option is 100% there. I mean, Palmer could play as an 8. You know, maybe could you have Cole Palmer as an 8? I don't know if that suits his game that well. Does that suit his game well? I'm unsure. But let's wait and see. Let's wait and see what happens with that, because there's definitely options there. But Sesko is one to watch. Osimhen's out for 4 weeks now, injured. I don't want to call Osimhen overrated, but you know, I just think with the money it's going to cost to bring him in to start with, over £100 million, the astronomical wages as well. I'm just not sure if it's worth it. That's my view on it. Look, from a Chelsea perspective and a financial perspective, it makes more sense to go for Benjamin Sesko. But then from a footballing perspective, you feel that Victor Osimhen will be more ready to make an impact in the Premier League and an impact in this Chelsea team straight off the bat. That's the reality, guys. That is the reality here. Wouldn't be shocked if we got Darwin Núñez. I mean, Rashford, I think absolutely not. Chelsea have been linked with Núñez before. Last summer, Chelsea inquired about Núñez. Whether that's going to be the same or not, I don't know. But apparently, Arne Slot, you know, views him as an important part of the Liverpool team. So, yeah, we wait and see. But anyway, let's move away from that. Well, of course, you like Chelsea would probably be prepared to make an exception for the right player. But yeah, the money is just astronomical for Osimhen. Absolutely astronomical. Anyway, yes, I did say championship winger. Let's move on to this. We are indeed linked to Crescencio Somerville. Chelsea are among Premier League clubs circling leads for Crescencio Somerville. He's expected to cost around £30 million. Somerville 22 was top scorer for Daniel Farke's team last season with 19 goals in the Championship. I'm pretty sure he was also named Championship. Was he named Championship Player of the Year? I don't know. Actually, no, he wasn't, because I think that was Kiernan Dewsbury Hall that was named that. But again, Somerville. I don't know. This is another wide player. Someone's leaving. You know, if Chelsea are amongst the clubs circling for Somerville, we can't sign Somerville and Elise unless two wingers are going out. No denying that Somerville is good for sure. You know, Somerville's a good player. He's done very well at Leeds. Leeds are going to need to sell, having not gone up. Absolutely. But yeah, I'm just, again, can we get rid of Sterling? I've got no idea. Somerville's not shit, by the way. He's not shit. Is he good enough for Chelsea? I don't know. Could he make the step up? Yeah, quite possibly. You know, he clearly looks a cut above the Championship. There's no denying that. Let's wait and see. We need to get rid of Sterling. But again, the wages he's on, unless he takes a massive pay cut, that is going to be very, very difficult to get rid of Raheem Sterling. That's the reality. I mean, guys, we're not getting Mitoma. We're not going back to Brighton again. Jared Bowen is not coming. No, Madueke, I think, will stay another season. He's shown great promise and great potential towards the end of last season. So let's wait and see on that front. Yeah, no, it does. It would have that feel around it. Somerville would, of course. I suspect that if Chelsea can't get a deal done for Michael Elise, I would expect that they might, as an alternative to Elise, look to make a move for Somerville. That would be my thoughts on the situation. That would be my thoughts on the situation. I would expect, you know, if we miss out on Elise, Somerville might be the fullback option as a winger. That would be my thoughts on that. swap deals never happen. You know, the amount of times that people mention swap deals, or the amount of times that swap deals get proposed and whatnot in reports, they never happen. They literally never happen. But yeah. What else have we got? Big up Charlie. I hope Maresca proves the Chelsea fans wrong by getting top 4 and win us the Carabao Cup, FA Cup. Well, we're not going to win all those trophies next season. I can tell you that for sure. But yeah, hopefully he does well. Yeah, there's big interest in Somerville. Big interest in Somerville. For sure. Yeah, he didn't have a good game on Sunday. That's absolutely right. He certainly didn't. But I think there's promise with him. There is absolute promise with Somerville. But I would look at this and I would think, as I said, this is Chelsea sort of having alternative options if they can't get Michael Olise again. And Michael Olise will absolutely be the main choice if Chelsea look to bring a wide player in this summer. But if we don't get Olise, then I think there's every chance that the club may well look at going for Somerville. But there is 100%. There's going to be a lot of competition for him, particularly around the £30 million mark with Leeds needing to sell. £30 million is not a lot of money for a player of his quality with his potential upside. Guys, still 275 in the building. Just 10 subscribers left now to 9.6k. Let's knock these final 10 off, people. Do your thing, guys. Last 10 subscribers to 9.6k. Smash that subscribe button, guys. Help me take another big step closer to the 10k mark. And smash the thumbs up button as well. 9 likes away from 200 likes. So smash the likes button, guys, and subscribe. 10 subscribers required to 9.6k. Make sure you are hitting that subscribe button. There's 282 in the building. There's definitely 10 of you in here that aren't subscribed. So help me get to 9.6 and subscribe. Let's get it done, people, and bang those likes up. It could be a low risk, high reward, one of those. But again, how often would he play? Is he better than Mudryk? Is he better than Madueke? Is he better than anyone else that plays on the left-hand side for Chelsea right now? I'm not sure if he is necessarily. No, I don't see it either. How are we flipping in for more than 30 million without enough game time? Nope, that's also very true. We're signing for around 30 million. If you look to sell him in a few years' time, he's got to play regularly for that to happen. I don't believe he is. I could be wrong on that one. I don't believe he is. I think certainly the following summer is. I think the likes of Mudryk and Madueke are very much playing for their Chelsea careers next season, given the fact that we've got Esteval Willian coming, we've got Kendry Paez coming, and they're by all accounts not going on loan. They're going to go straight into the first team squad. So I would say that Mudryk and Madueke will be playing for their Chelsea careers next season. Odegaard at Burnley looked very promising. I don't know anything about him. Yeah, look again, but Sterling. Look, he's better than Sterling. Look, you could have if you had options of Somerville and Mudryk on the left-hand side. Not terrible, guys. You would probably take that, but ideally, you want to go and try and get Michael Olise done. That's the reality of the situation. Yeah, I mean, mad that people were still like crying for João Felix to come to Chelsea. You know, there's a reason why top clubs don't want him. You know, because there is quality and ability there, but he costs a fortune. Look, again, I don't think I don't believe that Somerville will come. I just think it's a name that Chelsea have looked at as a potential one. But again, you know, ultimately, Chelsea don't need to sign any wingers this summer because we've got Kendry Paez and Esteval Willian coming in 2025. But if we do look to sign one, I'd rather go. It needs to be Michael Olise. Because I don't pay attention to Burnley players very, very much. You know, I'd not heard of him. But yeah. Yeah, they're coming in 2025 when they turn 18. So if it was down to me, I wouldn't be signing any wingers this summer. And you sell Sterling in summer 25 when Esteval and Paez come, and then you go from there. But ultimately, getting Olise is greedy, it's hoarding. But I tell you what, it certainly makes Chelsea's attack better. And if you can do it, you go and get it done. It really is that simple. Yeah, I don't see Chelsea going back to Brighton again for Matoma. Matoma's been injured for most of the second half of the season. So yeah. Let's wait and see on the Somerville front, guys. Let's wait and see on that Somerville front. I don't know if he will be, to be honest. Yeah, he's been with us. Yeah, he's been playing in the 21s. Been doing quite well there. I suspect he might go out on loan next season. That'll be the next step in the plan for his development. One would imagine. The guys are 17. The Paez they'll both be 18 when they come to the club. But right now they're both 17. Yeah, maybe we'll get a ball playing goalkeeper. Let's wait and see. Why not have Reece James who plays? Reece James is not going to play wide. He's not going to play right wing though. If that's what you're referencing, Reece James is not going to be playing right wing. Would be a good buy. Going to be very, very expensive though. I don't know how desperate he is to leave Barcelona. So that's one that I don't see happening. Maybe we've been linked with him in the past. Yeah, I mean, I don't know enough about the goalkeeping market to know which goalkeepers sort of do that well. I hope these directors have planned to loan the young talents we bought. Yeah, I'm sure there will be some plans. No, none at the moment. Whispers that Chelsea might look to bring a new keeper in, but no links to any keepers. I would loan Hutchinson, in my opinion, but there's interest from Ipswich, there's interest from Stuttgart. There's been interest from Dutch clubs Feyenoord and Ajax. But Chelsea have I know Hutchinson's out of contract in a year's time, but Chelsea have extended Hutchinson's contract until 2026 with an option by taking up an option they had in the deal. Ipswich really want him. He's open to returning, but Ipswich prefer a permanent move rather than a loan. Apparently, Chelsea would be looking for around £25 million. Actually, let's move on to that now. Let's move on to that now briefly before I've got to round this one out. Let's quickly move on to that Hutchinson stuff. So obviously he's returned. Chelsea have activated an option in his contract to extend it until 2026. Ipswich desperate to keep Hutchinson, who is open to returning. They prefer a permanence to any move, but Chelsea looking for around £25 million. Loan with an obligation if Ipswich stay up is one formula that's been discussed. Stuttgart also pushing to sign Hutchinson. I think at the end of the day, guys, the reality of the Chelsea model is sign cheap. Someone does well, you're going to sell him for a profit. And I think the reality is, guys, is that the Chelsea model points to the best players will stay at the club, all the rest will get sold. And in terms of Hutchinson, we've got Nkunku, we've got Palmer, we'll have Paez, we'll have Esteval, we'll have Mudryk, Madueke, but certainly, generally speaking, Nkunku, Palmer, could have Elise. You chuck in Esteval and Paez. Hutchinson, I'd love to see him play for the club, and I think he's great. But if we're being realistic, he's not getting in ahead of those guys. He simply is not getting ahead of those guys. And that's the reality of the situation. And if Chelsea, got 20 or 25 million pounds for him, considering he was a free, you would maybe look at selling him. Maybe that's what you would look at doing. A loan with an obligation if Ipswich stay up could make sense. Yeah, but I expect he'll go on loan again. I don't know if he will go to Stuttgart. Esteval's not signed yet. It's agreed, but it's not been announced or anything like that. So we're waiting for the announcement. But he won't be coming until 2025 anyway. So, there's no rush to announce that deal. But yeah, Datry for final will be another one. I think he'll come back. He'll spend the season on loan. And then if he does well, he'll be sold. Yeah, I probably would. I mean, ideally, I wouldn't be signing any centre-backs. I'd just be keeping Chalobah. But yeah, if Tosin had a Rabiot on a free, if the club are insistent on making the mistake in selling Chalobah, then I would absolutely take that. He'll be gone. He'll be gone. Kobel is a Borussia Dortmund goalkeeper. We've been linked to him in the past. I don't know how many links there have been recently for him, but we have certainly been linked to him in the past. That much is clear. But yeah, a little bit on Hutchinson there to round out. No, I don't think that, because he's got a year left on his contract and he's not looking to move. So even if Chelsea accept a bid, then it's down to Gallagher. And if I was Gallagher, I'd just see my contract out and see what happens. You know, so I actually think, despite all the noise, I think Gallagher will be a Chelsea player next season. But again, I could be wrong. But tossing on a free would be great, would be a great deal for Chelsea if Chalobah goes, which it looks like he is, which would be a big mistake. But tossing on a free transfer would be smart business at the end of the day. It would be smart business. Let's just check if there's anything else happening in the last few minutes. If not, I will round this one out, people. Chelsea will pay 10 million compensation fee to sign Enzo Maresca. We already knew that anyway. Yeah, guys, going to round this one out. Thank you so much to everyone that's tuned in. Greatly appreciated. Big numbers again. It really means a lot to me. Thank you for all the support. The community's great here. I love it. It's all fantastic. So thank you so much, guys. As always, it's not the same without you. On the way out, please smash the like button. Please smash the subscribe button as well, guys. Less than 10 required to 9.6. Let's get that done on the way out. Smash the like button. Subscribe if you're new around here. Make sure you check out the Leicester fan view on Enzo Maresca. That video's on the channel now. Go and give that a watch. Go and give it a thumbs up. And yeah, guys, I'll be back tomorrow. If there's any major news tomorrow, I'll be back in the day. But 5 p.m. tomorrow, I'll be back. Maybe before if anything major happens. But yeah, guys, take care. Enjoy the rest of your evening. Smash the likes. Subscribe if you're new around here. And I'll catch you lot tomorrow. Up the Chelsea, and peace out, guys.